History often appears linear, a straight line connecting past to present. Yet upon closer inspection, a curious pattern emerges. Significant events seem to follow a recurring cycle, echoing approximately every 80 years. Let's explore some striking parallels that reveal this cyclical nature of history. In 2008, the global economy plunged into crisis, deepening in 2009 and affecting nearly everyone. Exactly 80 years earlier, the world faced one of its worst economic disasters, the Great Depression beginning in 1929. In the early 1990s, war tore through Yugoslavia, leading to the nation's collapse. Rewind 80 years to 1914, and World War I erupted in Sarajevo, a city central to both conflicts. However, it's with the recent COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine that comparisons to World War II become deeply unsettling. During World War II, millions perished in gas chambers, suffocating from lack of oxygen. Fast forward to the COVID-19 pandemic, and once again, countless lives were tragically lost to respiratory failure. Both periods saw military-style controls and curfews, imposed during World War II for order, and during the pandemic to curb viral spread. In Nazi Germany, the Ahnenpass proved Aryan descent. In the pandemic era, the Green Pass similarly verified vaccination status. The 1939 invasion of Poland marked the onset of World War II. Similarly, Russia's recent invasion of Ukraine has captured global concern. The shadow of Nazism dominated World War II. Today, allegations of neo-Nazi elements have surfaced in the Ukraine conflict. From 1920 to 1933, Prohibition banned alcohol in the United States. In the modern era, post-9/11 security measures and the Patriot Act imposed new restrictions on personal freedoms. Cultural cycles are equally fascinating. The big band era of the 1910s echoed in the swing revival beginning in 1989. The fight for gay rights began in earnest in 1920s America, achieving landmark victories roughly 80 years later with legalized same-sex marriage. The rise of fascism in the 1920s finds a modern parallel in the global spread of interventionism and anti-terrorism policies of the early 2000s. The Harlem Renaissance of the 1920s and 30s celebrated African American identity. Today, the Black Lives Matter movement carries forward that struggle for equality and justice. The Cold War ignited tensions in the late 1940s. Renewed hostilities between the US and Russia resurfaced in 2014, persisting to this day. These historical echoes illustrate a recurring rhythm in global events and societal shifts. Remarkably, 80 years coincides with the average lifespan of modern societies. What might explain this pattern? Reincarnation emerges as one intriguing theory, but why this dreamlike repetition of historical themes? We now know extrasensory perception, ESP, and precognition are realities. First demonstrated scientifically by Rhine and later confirmed by psychic spies and remote viewing in the 1980s, these phenomena suggest consciousness transcends not just space, but time. But if free will and the sensitive dependence on initial conditions in physics, known as the butterfly effect in chaos theory, are both real, precognition should not be possible. The fact that it is suggests consciousness not only stretches through space, but also through time, functioning as both perception and causation. This implies that the global consciousness of humanity can influence worldwide events, with reincarnation potentially accounting for this cyclical pattern. But how can this repetition be so precise? Consider thousands of spectators at a concert, each singing slightly out of tune, yet collectively harmonizing perfectly. Similarly, individual consciousnesses may synchronize to produce precise historical cycles. The urgent question now becomes, what will happen in 2025, exactly 80 years after the atomic bombs devastated Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Could humanity be entering a new nuclear age, or perhaps a different global threat such as a solar crisis? Or could collective enlightenment and free will change the trajectory of history? As we approach another historical turning point, might we witness a modern rebirth of rock and roll around 2030? Could an economic boom and scientific renaissance, driven by AI advancements, await us in the 2030s and 40s? Will history's patterns confine us to a predetermined path, or is the future unwritten, shaped by the choices we make today? What legacy will we leave behind? The answers lie just beyond the horizon, waiting to be uncovered.